Hi folks, today I can share some more info on this new 28-70mm 2.0 full-frame autofocus GM lens that Sony will announce on November 19 along the new Sony A1 II. Every day now I keep receiving some messages from new and trusted sources. I try to triple check all the info I get so that I can share reliable info to you. So expect me nearly every day to spill out some info as soon as I can, not only about this lens like today, but also on the camera. And as a reminder, you can use that email address or the anonymous contact box to send me your info. When you use anonymous contact box, try to use a nickname so that I can recognize you in future. And you can also share images or documents using the contact box. Just upload them. There's a limit of a couple of megabytes, so if it's too big, the file is too big, then maybe send me a link through WeTransfer or other tools. But if you stumble upon some sort of image of the lens or the camera, then please feel free to use the contact form to send me the image. So let's now talk about the new 28-70mm 2.0. It's a bit of a letdown knowing that the original rumor that I posted 10 months ago about the 24-70 2.0 didn't really become true, and Sony, according to the sources, decided to go for a more compact 28-70. According to the sources, if they're telling me the truth, but I trust the sources, they were right so many times in the past. So Sony decided to do so, and finally I can give you some good news, okay? If you were a bit disappointed that it's not 24, I have some good news to share today because the same sources gave me some accurate info on the lens. And the first really exciting info is that this lens will weigh 530 grams less than the Canon 28-70mm 2.0 lens. I've been told the lens weight is around 900 grams, so half a kilo less than the Canon. This is really quite a difference. The filter size of the lens will be 86mm, which is narrower than the 95mm of the Canon 28-70mm lens and barely more than the 82mm filter size of the 24-70 GM2. The sources also told me that the size of the lens will be about the same of that of the 135 GM 1.8 lens from Sony. I made a comparison between the 24-70 2.8 GM2, the 135 GM 1.8 and the Canon 28-70mm lens. You can clearly see that the new lens will be quite a bit shorter, narrower, and also weigh a ton less than the Canon. So this is really quite an achievement from Sony. If you know me from my past videos, I complain a lot when it comes to the Sony firmware strategy, some body design, the pricing, but I always tell you that when it comes to sensors and to lenses, they're class leading. The lenses are class leading because they give you the best optical performance in a very compact size, something the competition really cannot achieve as of yet. Let me know in the comment section if you are actually considering to get one or not, or if there's something that you think is missing on this lens. But I think it's stunning that they did it. I think it's stunning that it's so compact. It makes it way more usable and travel friendly. So the Canon 28-70 is really a huge lens. If you ever saw it and hold it in your hand, it's a kind of lens that really gives you a wow, of course, but then even if you own it, after some times usually that's at least what happens to me. I always tend to carry with me the lighter lenses than the more heavier lenses, because for my hiking, traveling, it's just easier to carry the lighter lenses, and at the end you end up using this smaller lens more than the more expensive one. So having a 28-70 that is really compact and light will make it way more usable. The optical performance, I've been told, is top notch, so it should outperform the Canon 28-70 2.0. So not only is it 530 grams less than the Canon, but it outperforms it. So I'm excited about this lens. I hope Sony will also consider doing other 2.0 lenses, something like a 7150 2.0 or something like this. I think would be amazing. I think we live in a time where we need more kind of different different kind of focal length and aperture lenses. We have like right now, for example, when it comes to the 50mm lens range, we have 62 50mm E-mount prime lenses, and I think it's about time we get something different that still makes sense. One of such lenses is, for example, the Sony 2070 4.0 that I think is a super useful lens, travel friendly, like you can do selfie because 20mm wide focal length. So this is one of the lenses that is selling very well, and I know that from my contacts to the store. So I think there is a market also for 2.0 zooms. It's a niche market, but I think there is, and some other kind of new focal lengths. So that's all about the new rumors I can share today. That's reliable info. I hope to get the final info on the pricing and also the exact length of the lens and how wide it is. Should get it very soon, so you will not have to wait a long time. An additional info I can give you is just a confirmation. Other sources told me the Sony A1 II info I shared in my last video is that info is correct, so it will have the A9 III body, the 50MP sensor and so forth. And now I'm awaiting the confirmation on more detailed specs regarding the new video capability, the photo performance and so forth. So that's going to be very interesting, and I hope that in the next days I can share you more details about that. One more thing, because many people, many news sources and trusted sources are now sending me info through the contact form. A kind request to you, if you can get me some more details about the Sony A7 V, because I have confirmation via 4 trusted sources that it's coming pretty soon after the Sony A1 II. So if you might be able to tell me, for example, when the announcement is likely to happen, if it's January, February, March, or a tiny bit later, would be nice if you can gather that information from me. And as an interesting note also, if you can ask Sony what's going to happen with the A7S lineup, if there will be an A7S IV or not, when to expect it, because this is a kind of big question I have and I still didn't get an answer. So maybe also third thing, the usual thing, ask them about the new full-frame fixed lens camera, if there's any hope to get it in 2025. That would be really great. Again, this is the contact form, this is the email address, the contact form. You can send images and also PDFs and everything. And also, if you like, you can also send me stuff and ask me to not post it, but just as a proof that the information you're sending me is correct. So, and I will obviously follow your rule, no problem on that. So this is it. And again, subscribe and hit the notification button if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming videos. I should get detailed specs in the next couple of days on the Sony A1 II, and hopefully a tiny bit later also some images. I told you in my last video the Sony A1 II will just look like the Sony A9 III, so don't expect anything revolutionary. I made this Photoshop image to just show you how it will look, but I'm really interested how the 28-70mm will look on the camera. So if you can get me that image, I know it looks, from the looks it should look like the 24-70mm GM2. That also is something that I've been told, so the looks are nothing really new, but I really would love to see the size of the lens in real life. That would be amazing. So folks, that's it for today, and I see you soon.